Hi, I'm Andy Howard, arable farmer from Kent. Farm here just outside Ashford with mum and dad. We farm about 300 hectares of arable with a mixture of about 8 or 9 different crops. We grow cover crops, no-till, intercrops as well. So diversification is on the farm. We diversify within the field. So we have the intercrops. This year we've got oats and beans together, peas and oilseed rape, lentils and linseed and oats. And we also have a wide rotation of about 9 different crops on the farm. So we grow grass seed, winter wheat, spring barley, spring linseed on top of the intercrops as well. The reason we do that, a lot of it is due to risk management. If one crop is bad in one year, we've still got 7 or 8 other crops to take up the slack. We're not relying on one crop to be the sole breadwinner. The niche crops, the smaller crops, there's not normally as much many tools available in terms of weed control. They're a lot higher risk in terms of things can go wrong, and there's not always a huge amount of information how to grow them. Especially for something like lentils, there isn't really any information of how to grow them, only what Hodmedods have experienced the last 4 years. So that's probably, you're learning on the job and you learn by your mistakes. So that's probably the biggest challenge. The issue with the mixed crops is making sure you can separate them, and it was one of the things when I finished my Nuffield, I wanted to have my own separator because it would give me enough flexibility, and we built our own, but there isn't any off-the-shelf machinery you can buy to do it simply and easily without adding a lot of cost. So the separation is a barrier. We just went ahead and made our own, but not everyone can necessarily do that. It's probably not viable for everyone to do that. And selling a mixed crops is fine. If you're a livestock grower, you can grow mixed and you can sell for feed, that's fine. But there isn't necessarily much of a market for general human consumption for mixed crops. They want them separated. I grew chickpeas about 3 years ago, which was a complete failure, and I think that caught the attention of Hodmedods, and I must have met one of them or spoken to one on the phone or by email, Josiah I think, and we just got chatting. I said, well, I've tried chickpeas, it didn't work. What, have you got anything that might work? And he suggested to me, why don't I try a bit of lentils, which we did for the first time last year, and it seemed to work reasonably well. It was only a small plot, so I think that's how it came about. I think Hodmedods is a massive plus for us in terms of being able to grow those niche crops and have a market. They're very farmer focused and farmer driven. It's not they're not trying to screw the farmer down for price or anything. So for me, the way they behave is very farmer friendly, and which gives you the confidence that if it goes wrong or something goes wrong, they will help you out. And they have a massive growing market due to their good marketing. So you know that the market should hopefully grow in all these niche crops as well. This year we've got 4 different intercropping trials. First one is linseed and oats, and I'm using the oats to deter or repel flax flea beetle from the linseed, and that has worked well, and we've managed to grow linseed without using insecticide, which is very difficult. We sprayed the oats out, so it's just linseed now. We've got spring beans and oats as a trial with PGRO, 5 different plots in a field. And that seems to be working very well, and we'll see what the harvest results come back at. Peas and spring oilseed rape. The peas look good, the oilseed rape has disappeared, not really there. So in terms of growing oilseed rape, that's been a bit of a failure again. I think we have to rethink bothering with spring oilseed rape. And then the lentils and the linseed has struggled in the lentils, but the lentils look great. So we've got a crop to sell on all of our trials, but not necessarily everything hasn't really all gone our way, but that's trials. Yeah, no, the trials, I always tell people to start small and try something before you go and do a big acreage. So having Having the support of Diversify last year and innovative farmers and PGRO, having that scientific support with people willing to do the plant counts and harvest yields and sorting out the data, it's a big help for me doing my on-farm trials. I like to do on-farm trials, but having that backup gives them more validity rather than just me doing them by myself. Next year we need to improve the growing of the lentils with a companion, so we probably need to think at maybe not using something and the linseed. So hopefully we might do some trials next year on that with innovative farmers. The peas, the oilseed rape hasn't worked, so there's more research needs to be done on what a good companion for peas are. Possibly oats, possibly mustard. So hopefully you can do some work with Reading University, PGRO, innovative farmers on that one. And I have a few other ideas of clover and grass seed and companion cropping winter wheat as well going forward, because with the ban on neonic seed dressings this autumn, I think we need to start finding cultural methods of controlling aphids or repelling aphids, and I think companion cropping winter wheat could be a big one, and I'm hoping to do a trial this autumn on that as well.